Hi guys, Darth Deuces here, back on our Star Wars The Black Series action figure review. Today, taking a look at another relatively recent release. It is the HK-87 Assassin Droid as they appeared in The Mandalorian. I can't remember which episode number it was, but it's when the first time Ahsoka appears in live action. And this is a figure I wasn't sure I was actually going to pick up. I was originally interested in it. I think I had it pre-ordered. And I canceled the pre-order. I thought maybe about passing on it because I kind of want to try to cut back a little bit on Black Series figures, and you already saw a major issue I have with this guy. But, you know, it's a cool looking droid design. I've always liked how it looked when I first saw it in The Mandalorian, and then in the recent Ahsoka trailer we saw that the HK-87 droids are going to be making a return. So I kind of decided I'd pick it up, and I saw it in stores, so I figured why not. And it is a cool figure. Always cool to get unique, cool looking assassin droids, bounty hunter droids, all that sort of jazz. But not a perfect figure, as you already saw. But taking a closer look, like the head design a fair bit. I think it looks pretty cool. The sculpted detail is nice, and then the little painted silver bits look really good as well. And I like the dark gray and then the lighter gray kind of contrast, which is nice. It looks pretty good. Nice sculpted detail in the back there. One thing is, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's supposed to have the Chimera logo from the Grand Admiral Thrawn's 7th Fleet on the side of his head. He doesn't have it. Maybe only one of the droids had it. I'm not sure, but I think that's supposed to be there. So that's kind of unfortunate it's not on there. Also, I can't tell for sure, but I think this gray like helmet top of the headpiece is a separate piece from the head sculpt that they glue on. I don't know. It's made of a slightly softer plastic, and the right side here is kind of warped upwards just a little bit, so it kind of looks like he's raising his eyebrow, his non-existent eyebrow, just a little bit. You can't really tell too much, but it's kind of like slanted, raised up instead of just being vertically or horizontally rather aligned. Not a big deal, but it's just something I noticed, I guess. But the rest of the figure, you know, it looks pretty good. He's got a fair amount of paint apps with different colors going on. You've kind of got the burgundy, reddish brown or whatever going on, very HK-47 looking, I always thought, which is pretty cool. And then the grays with the beige or whatever looks really nice. So I like all different colors. You have this plastic wrap that kind of keeps the soft goods robe thing in place. So I always thought it was kind of cool. The droids wear fabric cloaks. There's no really point to it, but it's cool that they have that, and the soft goods is done very well in this figure. It looks good, doesn't look too bulky or weird looking. The material is nicely, nice fabric, and you do have that red trim there, which looks really nice as well. Belt looks good with some gold for the buckle. You got some pouches, some more detail. You can kind of see this little backpack piece there, which is cool. And the sculpted mechanical detail looks really nice for the droid bits. You got some silver where the joints are, which is nice. Can kind of see in there. They even sculpted some detail in where that hip joint is, which is very cool to see as well. As far as I know, you cannot remove the robe, or at least if you do, you're going to have to probably cut some things apart, and then it'd probably be a pain to get it back on. So you can't really take it off, which is fine with me. I don't really have any reason to. But yeah, good looking figure. Not really any complaints there, aside from the missing logo, I guess. In terms of articulation, he does have like a ball joint at the top and then a joint at the base of the neck. Honestly, it's not the best articulation. For some reason, its rotation's fine, but you don't really get a lot of pivot, and you don't really get a lot up and down for some reason. You have actually a pretty good butterfly joint, I won't lie, with a single hinge, and these shoulder pads are glued at the bottom and are a very soft plastic, so they will bend out of the way. But that's cool. And you have a single hinge at the elbow that moves at 90 degrees, rotation, swivels at the wrist, and up and down wrist hinge, which is nice to see as well, with the left hand going in and out. Torso joint, which goes back a decent amount, crunches forward just a little bit, pivots quite a bit actually, and then rotates. Hinges at the hip, spread out okay, maybe not as far as you did like them to, I guess, but it's not too bad. They kick out, you know, very far. There is, don't think there's a swivel joint. I think it's just the ball joint allows for some shifting motion. It's literally hard to tell, honestly. Single hinges at the knees that go about 90 and they rotate, and then hinges at the ankles that go up and they go down and they pivot. But a major issue with my figure, I don't know if it's a universal issue or not, but my ankle hinges are really loose and they like to, well, move when I don't want them to. So it makes it really hard to get this guy to stand. He wants to keep tipping forward or tipping backwards, more tipping forward. And so getting him in just standing poses is really, really annoying. And when a figure can't just stand up straight and stay standing, or it's a challenge to do that, that's kind of a problem. I got him standing here just fine, but you mess with him at all, or you just bump the table a little bit, he'll probably go tumbling down. It's pretty annoying. So that's a pretty major problem. In terms of accessories, he just comes with the blaster, but in the show, so far as we've seen them, they only use the blaster, so that's fine, but it is a new sculpt to my knowledge. It's just cast in this metallic, or not metallic, but gunmetal sort of gray plastic, but it looks pretty nice. The sculpt detail is nice. The figure grips the blaster very well, and you can get him pretty easily in two-handed gun holding hands, or gun holding poses. It's pretty easy getting him to hold it with two hands, so that's pretty good. And that's pretty much all there is to it. There's not really anything to compare this guy with because there's nothing else really like this guy. So overall, I think it's a pretty cool figure. If you're like a Mando completionist for the Black Series, you're collecting all the Mando characters, or you really like collecting droids, all the different droids, then I'd recommend picking this guy up. You'll probably enjoy it even with its flaws. But if you're not crazy about getting all the Mando characters, or you don't care so much for this droid design, then it's definitely an easy pass. It's not an essential figure to have in your collection at all. Maybe at some point I'll get a second one to have two like in the show, but I'll probably wait to see if it goes on a significant sale before I bother getting a second one, if I even bother at all. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will see you all in the next one. May the Force be with you.